Good afternoon, members of the Sarawak Brigade Council. I'm going to tell you a short history of how the Boys Brigade landed in Sarawak 60 years ago. My name is Albert Kedit and I'm 85 years old. I've been associated with the Boys Brigade over 70 years. I'm an Iban, born and brought up and educated in Singapore. I was selected to attend the Founders Centenary Camp in England in 1954, representing the Singapore Boys Brigade. In 1955, I was awarded the Queen's Badge, the highest an honor a BB boy can achieve. This badge is equivalent to what you call today the Founders Badge. This is how it looks like. The Queen's Badge and the Eton Camp. In 1947, Charles Henry and myself was invited to attend the annual inspection and display of the 7th Singapore Company, which was attached to St. Andrew's School, where we both were studying in the school. After the display, the captain of the company invited both boys who are not members of the Boys Brigade between the age of 12 years and 14 years to join the Boys Brigade. Charles Inca and myself were impressed by the display, and the smart blue uniforms encouraged us to enroll to be a BB members without knowing the principles or culture. However, we stayed with the 7th Company for 8 years of our young lives to participate the activities of BB and learn the Christian value that BB offered to bring us to be a well-disciplined, obedience, and develop good habits and become a good citizen. In 1952, the Boys Brigade International in England planned to organize the international camp to commemorate the 100 years birthday of our founder, Sir Alexander William Smith. It was called the Founders Centenary Camp, to be held in Eton, England in 1954. All the BB organizations around the world were invited to participate in the camp. Singapore BB at that time was only 11 companies. Decided to send a contingent. Application was sent out to all officers and NCOs who are interested to attend the camp. More than 40 boys and officers applied to be selected. Charles Henry and myself also applied and were interviewed by the selection committee comprising Mr. James Fraser, the President of the Singapore Boys Brigade, Mr. Brownsford, the Vice President, and Mr. Strange, the Treasurer. The selection committee knew that Mr. Charles Henry and myself were Sri Dayak, as those days the Iban was not known in Singapore, and hoped that this opportunity and experience at the Founders Centenary Camp would inspire us to start the Boys Brigade in Sarawak, if we should ever return to Borneo. Charles Inca was a staff sergeant, while I was a corporal, and we joined a BB contingent to Eton in 1954. Just as the selection committee had hoped, Mr. Charles Henry Inca initiated the formation of Boys Brigade movement in Kuching in 1961. When Sir Alexander William Smith founded the Boys Brigade, he had discussed with two of his old friends in a YMCA. The brothers were Mr. James Hill and Mr. John Hill, who taught at the Sabbath School with Alexander Smith. Similarly, when Mr. Charles Henry Inca, with his two nephews, the brothers Albert and Peter Kedit, who were ex-members of 7th Singapore Company, Mr. Charles Inca was a warrant officer when he left Singapore, and his training as officer at the London Felden Lodge, the prestigious officers training school. Charles Inca, who had a strong desire to offer his service to the church, initiated the formation of Boys Brigade in Sarawak with the assistance of the Kedit brothers. Initially, St. Thomas's Cathedral, the Right Reverend Nicol Conway was not in favor for another uniform youth organization at St. Thomas School, who already had the Boy Scout. However, Inca was not daunted and managed to convince the bishop the Boys Brigade was a youth ministry of the church. And furthermore, he also emphasized that he has officers who got experience to start the Boys Brigade. The bishop finally convinced and relented, directed the provost of Cathedral, Very Reverend Anthony Perry, to offer 22 boys for the confirmation class of 1961, pioneering as members of the Boys Brigade. On the 21st June 1961, 22 boys aged between 11 to 14 years old came to St. Mary's School and listened to Charles Henry Inca and myself on what the organization, activities were and objective of the Boys Brigade. The boys were shown pictures of the Boys Brigade in their spick and span blue uniform with white haversack. Got them very, very excited. They were given enrollment form for the parents to fill in for their approval to join the Boys Brigade. The boys turned up on the following Saturday, 31st of June 1961, at the parish hall with a fill-in form to allow them to join the Boys Brigade. We could take the 31st June 1961 when the Boys Brigade was founded in Sarawak. The first set of uniform, consisting of caps, haversacks, and leather belt, were donated by the Singapore Boys Brigade through the courtesy of Mr. S.B. Chua, who was the president of the Singapore Boys Brigade Council. Mr. Chua was a good friend of Mr. Charles Henry Inca and myself. Charles Henry Inca had the advantage and benefit of 3 ex-members to run the company efficiently and smoothly for the next 6 months. Mr. Peter Warner, a former BB Staff Sergeant and member of the British VSO, or they call it Voluntary Service Organization, similar to the American Peace Corps, joined the company. The Reverend Anthony Perry became the first Kuching Company chaplain, and Charles Henry Inca, the first initiated captain of the first enrollment service on Sunday, 17 December 1961. The pioneering endeavor of Charles Henry Inca and Albert and Peter Kedit in 1961 have borne, and today I believe there are more than 60 companies in Sarawak. I like to relate some of the history of the Boys Brigade too. The youngest member in 1961 was 11 years old, and is still an active member for the past 60 years, and he was captain of First Kuching Company from 1975 to 76, and now the president of the Kuching Steadfast Association. He is also a grandfather of 4 grandchildren, and I believe most of you know him. He is none other than Mr. Dennis Soon. It is said that our founder, Mr. Charles Henry Inca, could not join us to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Boys Brigade. He has gone to be with the Lord on 21st December 2019 in Miri. May I congratulate and wish the officers and boys of Sarawak a happy 60th anniversary, and may God continue to bless the wonderful Christian youth movement every success in the years to come. Thank you, and God bless the Sarawak Boys Brigade. Amen.